Now joined by Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey as Carson-Newman takes down the Clayton State Lakers 90-86. And coach, this is an interesting one. Sloppy one, a lot of fouls, couldn't really get into the flow, a lot of turnovers in the first half, only 5 in the second half. What separated your team here tonight?
That's a good question. The first half, we got in foul trouble. We did not adjust to the way that the game was being called whatsoever. It was being played very physical. There was an uncharacteristic amount of arm bars that were being implied. And of course, we got called for some of them. We didn't do a good job of taking care of the ball. We had 17 turnovers in the first half. Didn't do a good job, with taking care of it. And, of course, on the glass, I don't think we did a good job either, giving up 13 offensive rebounds in the first half. So we just got out of sync because of foul trouble. At times we were playing a lineup where we didn't really have a true five that even knew how to run plays. So we're just trying to grind through it, and we felt like early on, just the way things were, just the way it was, we were just going to have to try to grind this one out. And I'm proud that we won, but I'm very disappointed in how we played.
So 17 turnovers in the first half, just 5 in the second half. You shoot 57% in the second half.
Yep.
What was the difference offensively outside of the fact that you could put different players onto the floor?
Well, once we can get back the regular group, the regular rotation, not that we ever could. We stayed in foul trouble the whole second half. And, I didn't know if we were going to be able to get through, and that was the hardest part, is not being able to coach the game, but trying to navigate through the foul trouble and who we're going to put in and the different kind of lineups. And but they did take care of it a little bit better. Harris had a phenomenal game. There was times that there was no play set up. She just kind of took it on her own to kind of carry us. Michael wasn't having one of her better games, and that's the good thing about our team is when one of them's down, somebody else can step up and have a big night, and it hasn't been Harris of late. And then in a moment to where we were staring at a loss, she came up big and got 31 points and went 14 of 14 from the free throw line.
We talked about the bench in the pregame interview. Well, you get 9 points on an efficient effort from Tori Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
You get 13 points, nearly a double-double from Kelsey Marisites, 13 and 9, 4 steals, a couple assists from her as well. How proud of you are the way that your bench was able to step up in this?
Well, it was key. At one point in time, I think we had 3 of our top scorers on the bench together, and maybe that was in the second. They had to carry the load, and I am proud of them. Kelsey's been playing really good basketball, and she played really tough. I think just the physicality of the game in the first half just really kind of shook us a little bit, and then things weren't going our way. We couldn't make shots. We're in our own gym. We typically shoot well here. The 3 ball wasn't going down, and then little things inside. Credit Clayton State. They were trying to go down and swipe the ball out when we were trying to score layups and get to the rim. So it was a nice adjustment by our bunch. To say that we were going to score 90 in this game, I would have said you're crazy. The way it looked, and then actually you come over here and look at the stat sheet and it says 90-86 is kind of phenomenal.
5 games this year, all 5 you've shot at least 53% in the third quarter, including 73% against North Georgia. You shoot 57%. What is it about the halftime adjustments and the different mentality that you've been able to get such an efficient offensive effort in the third quarter this year?
Well, I think it's conditioning. One, these kids have been working hard all summer long and into the preseason, and Thomas Collins, our strength coach, has done a good job of preparing them there. And then just kind of the way we practice too, just the way we do it. It lends itself to be able to play through. Of course, we're used to playing that way, and it's an up-tempo game. And, yeah, we may get wore out a little bit, but when we come out in the second half, we typically get our second win. And, the opponent doesn't necessarily have that second win. And so I think once we kind of get to that third quarter, I don't know, the shots are a little bit more open. Drives are there a little bit more, and so we get a little bit higher percentage shot.
You go to Clayton State, or Columbus State rather, on Sunday. You expect a similar physical-type game with a bunch of athletes for them. Outside of getting some rest, what adjustments do you want to see on the floor from your team?
Well, we adjusted okay in the second half with how we took care of the ball, and rebounding was poor still. We got out-rebounded, which is the first time all year, I think. We got murdered on the boards. We had more turnovers and assists. Those are all things that haven't happened this year. Even that being that said, we still got the W. But I don't like how we just gave up layups. And, Clayton's game plan just about every game they go into is to drive and to get into your body. And so we did not do a good job of sliding our feet. We were trying to keep our hands up because that's what we talk about all the time, is because the officials want to see your hands. So if your hands are up and they're getting into your body and you're getting called fouls, there's not a whole lot I can do to help improve that other than just be quicker than your offensive player. But what you can't do is you can't arm bar while you're driving in the paint. And so we try to keep our hands up. and arm bars are something that I guess needs to be discussed because there was a lot of them, and we did some too, and maybe we got away with some. But anyway, we're not happy with the performance by any means, but we're definitely happy to come out here with a W.
Coach, appreciate the time. Go enjoy your Thanksgiving.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
It's Mike Mincey as Carson-Newman takes down Clayton State 90-80.